In this video, we are going to talk about the list. The list is the most flexible data structure in R. A list structure allows to combine the elements of different data types. A list structure does not need to follow any rules as in the case of vectors, matrices, or data frames. In case of vectors, for example, all the elements in the vector should be of same data type. In case of matrices, all the elements in the matrix should be of same data type and all columns in a matrix must be of same length. In case of data frames, all columns must be of same length. So all these different kinds of rules don't really apply to the list. You can consider a list similar to your to-do list in Office. The items on to-do list mostly differ in length, characteristics, and type of activity that has to be done. So let's open the RStudio and create a list. Before we create a list, let's create a bunch of objects of different data structures. So here's a numeric vector, character vector, logical vector. Here is a matrix, it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Then this is a data frame. Data frame is a tabular data with columns of different data types. So here we can see that the columns with integer and character data type. And then finally we are going to create a list. So let's pack all these objects into a list now. To create a list, we will use a list function and add the object names one after other into a list function. So let me execute this. And here we go. Here is how the list looks like. So here is the list that is generated, and this number in the double square bracket, this number in the double square bracket is an object index position inside the list. Please note here the index position gives the position of the object and not position of the elements inside the object. So for example, the number 2 indicates that the character vector has a second position in the list. You can check the class of a list. Is.list function should give us true value. We can also create a list within a list. So here is a small list that I've created. Now using the list function, the list temp one, the list that we have just created, I'm going to make this list temp one as a part of earlier created list. So I'm going to use the list function again. Let me execute this. You can see the last element, the 6th element, is the list. And this is the first element of a list, which is a data frame. This is the second element of the list, which is a logical vector. Since the list hosts various data structures, sometimes it becomes very difficult to understand which data structure is created for which purpose. So it's better to name the list elements. Now we are going to see how to name the list elements. We can name the list elements in two different ways. The first way is to name the list element when it is created. So here it is. I am giving the names when the list is created. So let's execute this. Now as you can see, the names of the list elements are appearing on top of each list element. Now before we look at the second option, let's remove the names. We can remove the names of a list using null operator. Here we have to use the names function and pass on the list object onto it. Here you can see that all the names, so if I execute this, here you can see all the names have been removed. The second option is to create the names vector and assign it to the list using the names function. So here is a vector, here is a names vector, it's a character vector. And after I use names function and execute it, then you can see the names vector are assigned as the names of the list element. Great. So in this video, we created a list. In the next video, we will subset the elements of a list. Let's meet in the next video.